Australia Day, one of the marquee fixtures on the WCG calendar, rolls around once again. A tournament steeped in history and tradition. A tournament that never fails to deliver big moments. Moments that not only live in the memory for years on end, but go down into WCG folklore forever. The 6th edition of the Australia Day T20 Big Bash belonged to one team and one man in particular. Ryan Schaefer having an absolute field day on this occasion. He would not just dominate with the bat, but he would also go on to star with the ball to finish the leading run scorer and leading wicket taker of the tournament, claiming the MVP award and propelling Young Money Cash Money to their first ever Big Bash title. So here we go. The hunter now becomes the hunted, as 11 other teams begin their quest to dethrone the reigning champions and etch their name onto the trophy for this year's edition. It's the 2022 Australia Day T20 Big Bash, proudly sponsored by TexBet, right here on your one and only home of backyard cricket, WCG TV. Hello everyone from wherever you're tuning in from around the world. Welcome to the WCG for match 1 of the 2022 TexBet Australia Day T20 Big Bash, which sees last year's beaten Grand Finalists WET UP open their account against the highly fancied 2 inches short of a length. WET UP will be looking to go one better this time around after a heartbreaking defeat in last year's Grand Final, whilst the men in red 2 inches short of a length will be looking to get back on track after a quarter-final exit last time around saw them miss the semi-finals for the very first time. And as you can see on your screens now, WET UP headline a blockbuster Group A. They are drawn alongside second seeds 2 inches short of a length, and after their group stage exit last year, the two-time champions How's That round out the Group A, and this group has been dubbed the Group of Death with good reason. And just before we get underway, we'd like to thank our major sponsor for this year's tournament, TexBet, who have jumped on board this season, and we welcome them aboard. Bet local, bet with Tex. The two captains of WET UP and 2 inches short of a length respectively have made their way out into the middle, and now it's time for the all-important toss. Daniel, the official umpire to do the toss. The lowest ranked side will call. It's a heel. So the WET UP skipper Matt White winning the toss, and he is elected to bowl first. As we have a look at his side now, it's an unchanged lineup that went oh so close in last year's tournament to winning their second Australia Day T20 Big Bash title. They're skippered by Matt White once again. Michael Johnson makes his 7th straight appearance at the Australia Day T20 Big Bash, a tournament that he has enjoyed a large amount of success in down the years. And the Green Machine are rounded out by Gavin Merrifield. And it's as you were once again for the men in red, 2 inches short of a length, led by Hamid Basher once again. He'll be joined by his right-hand man Justin Brooke, who will be vice skipper once again for the Reds. And rounding out the side will be Alex Stepien, who had a handy tournament with the ball last time out. And can he stand up for the Reds once again? So we're all ready to go for another edition of the Australia Day T20 Big Bash. It's a blockbuster to begin with. WET UP and 2 inches short of a length get the Group of Death underway. So it's going to be the Red skipper Hamid Basher who will get this innings underway with the blade. Has struggled to find form with the bat in this tournament over the last few years. Can this year be his edition? So we're all ready to go for the 7th edition of the Australia Day T20 Big Bash. It's going to be skipper v skipper for the first over, as Matt White will steam into Basher. He's in now. This one's a good length delivery, and Hamid Basher is watchful as he lets this one go through to the keeper. So a good start there from both skippers. Good start with the ball from White, and well watched there from Basher. As White is in once again to him over the wicket. He's in now. This one's a full delivery, and how has this missed the stumps? Well, it's an early life for Basher, Here's we have a look at the replay. That cannot have missed by much. Well, White is on straight away here. As you continue again now to Obasha. And Obasha tries to get this away, but it hits him in the hand and drops in the semicircle. And that'll be the first run of the tournament for the skipper and the Reds. It's not the prettiest, but they're away. White to continue to Obasha in the opening over. Here he's in now. This one's a full delivery. And he moves out of the way. And this cannot have missed the leg stump by much. But unfortunately, it has been called a wide. Anything down the leg side is called a wide in this tournament. Oh, and that can't have missed by much either. No wicket for two, as White will continue to Obasha in the opening over. This one's a full delivery, and Obasha hasn't played a stroke, and it hits him in the boot, but the umpire says this is sliding down leg. Well, I'm not sure if White is happy with the decision. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think that's just sliding down. Another nearly moment there for the wet up skipper. So we arrive at the final delivery of the opening over. Here it's White to Obasha. It's a full toss, and Obasha plays that on the fence, but it's fielded by Johnson to end with. No wicket for two after one. It's going to be Gavin Merrifield to bowl around the wicket for the second over of the innings. Here he's in now to Obasha, and he's knocked him over. First delivery. Well, what a start to the tournament for Gavin Merrifield as he picks up the first wicket of this year's edition. The Red skipper pulling away and giving himself some room, and he's been absolutely skittled. 2 inches short of a length, 1 for 2. So the Reds in early trouble here in match one, and that wicket now brings the vice skipper Justin Brooke to the crease. He has been heavily relied upon for runs in this team down the years, and it looks like it's going to be the case once again. So it'll be Gavin Merrifield, who's got his tail up to continue to Brooke around the wicket in the second over. Here's in now, he begins with a full toss, and that's a confident start from the vice skipper, who hammers this through mid-wicket for a boundary. To be fair, it's a bit of a gift serve first up there from Merrifield. And Justin Brooke says, thank you very much. The Reds 1 for 6 in the second over, as Merrifield is in once again to Brooke, and this one's a better delivery, bang on the money. And Brooke can't beat the wet up skipper, who moves smartly to his left to make the stop. So the match already hanging in the balance here. Another wicket would really open things up. Oh, but instead it's another full delivery, and it's another beautiful on drive there from Justin Brooke. He's raced along to 8 to begin his innings in style. Positive signs here from the vice skipper. So we arrive at the final delivery of the second over. Here is Merrifield is into Brooke, and it's a full toss. And it's been hammered away through mid-wicket, this time for a maximum. 4-4-6 to begin his innings here from Brooke. And Justin Brooke looking good to start with. So after the early wicket of the Red skipper, Justin Brooke has come in and gone bang, bang, bang to have the Reds in a pretty decent position at the halfway stage of the innings. 2 inches short of a length, 1 for 16 after 2 overs. Can the Reds vice skipper keep this up and propel his side beyond the 30 mark? So it's going to be the skipper who will bowl the third over of the innings. Here he's in now to Brooke, and this one's a full delivery. Oh, and it's happened again. How has this one missed the stumps? Well, it's deja vu for White. It's an absolute bullet once again. Oh, can you believe it? White to continue to Brooke in the third over of the innings. Here he's in now. This one's a full fast delivery, but it's pushed down the leg side, and that'll have to be re-bowled. So that's another one to the tally. 1 for 17, the Reds here in the third over. So they're in a pretty decent position. 9 deliveries left in the innings, as White is in once again to Brooke, and this time he's knocked him over. This time he gets his man, and that's a big wicket here for wet up. The dangerous Brooke goes for 14. It's another bullet from White, and this time it collects nothing but the pegs, as the Green Machine skipper knows exactly how big that is. So it's Alex Stepien now, the last man in for the men in red. He has made handy runs in this tournament down the years, and you feel he's probably going to have to do it again if his side are going to get anywhere near where they should be. So it's the skipper Matt White looking for the kill, as he's into Alex Stepien for his first delivery. Here he's in now, and it's a full fast delivery, but once again it slides down the leg side, and this one will have to be re-bowled. So the Reds 2 for 18 in the third over. Can Stepien propel his side towards that 25-30 mark, as White is in once again to him now. Here, this one's a good delivery, and he catches the outside edge, and it's all over for the men in red. They have been bowled out for 18 in their innings. Matt White gets justice and picks up 2 wickets of his own. He has been simply too hot to handle once again. He loves this tournament. And Wet Up will be looking to get the first points in the grip of death. So a pretty handy bowling display here from the men in green has restricted 2 inches short of a length to just 18 in their innings. They looked like they were back on track when Justin Brooke was firing them to the boundary, but White put himself on in the 3rd over and finished with figures of 2 for 4. Justin Brooke top scoring for the Reds with 14, and it's 19 to get for Wet Up to rocket to the top of Group A. And in what would appear to be a bit of a surprising move, it's going to be Gavin Merrifield who will get this run chase underway for Wet Up. His only effort with the bat in last year's edition was in the grand final, so perhaps Wet Up having one eye in the future. So it's 19 to get for last year's grand finalists, and it's going to be Alex stepping to bowl around the wicket for the first over of the innings. He's in now. This one's a beauty to start with. It's an outswinger which can't have missed the stumps by much. Well, this is becoming a regular theme here as this one slides between bat and pad. So a good start with the ball here from the Reds. A step in will continue again now to Merrifield. Oh, it's just hit the bat. No, I think this might have hit the back leg. As we have a look. Yeah, it has. That's what stopped it from being a wide. Step in to continue in the opening over of the run chase. Here he's in now. This one's a full delivery. And he's got a thick inside edge and he's moving through for a single on a direct hit. And he was surely toast. It's a good bit of fielding there from Brooke. But to be fair, he had a good look at the wickets. And he just can't make contact. Wet Up are underway for the run chase. So step in to continue around the wicket in the opening over. Here he's in now. This one's a full delivery right in the block hole. It's a brilliant bit of bowling there from Stepien. And he's done well to dig this out in the end, has Merrifield. So a good start with the ball here from Stepien. Just the 1 run off the over so far. As we arrive at the final delivery of the opening over. This is just what they needed, the Reds, to start their innings. And then a nice tight over at the top. Here is Stepien is in for the final ball of the over. He's in now, and this one's a flush and a miss, is it? No, he's got a nick through to the keeper. That's the first wicket down for Wet Up, and Stepien continues his good run in this tournament with the ball. It's a brilliant way to end what's been a brilliant over from the Red speedster. That's one away for the Reds, as they believe that they can defend this target. So with the wicket of Merrifield, brings Michael Johnson to the crease for Wet Up at number 2. As mentioned prior, has had tremendous success down the years in this tournament with the blade. Can he stand up for his side once again and get him home here? So it's going to be the vice skipper Justin Brooke to bowl the second over of the innings. Here he's in now to Johnson. Johnson just tucks this away as it drops onto the pitch, and he'll move through for a single. No, he'll move through for a leg by, sorry. So Wet Up move along to 1 for 2 in the second over, and you feel that this is going to be a pivotal over in this contest. Justin Brooke definitely has the ability to break these innings open with the ball. Here's to continue around the wicket to Johnson in the second over. Here he's in now, and Johnson gets a thick outside edge. He's going to move through for a single, and he takes on Hamid Basher, and he's too good as he moves through pretty comfortably in the end. Sorry, once again, this is a leg by, so he's yet to get off the mark, but it's still a busy start from the vice skipper. So a good start with the ball so far from Brooke. As we continue again now to Johnson, and this one's played down the ground. This time it's definitely off the bat, but it's well stopped off his own bowling there from Brooke, who stopped a certain boundary. So 16 to get now from 12 deliveries, as Brooke will continue again now to Johnson, and he's in now, and Johnson gets a thick inside edge, I'm thinking. Yeah, this time he's got a thick inside edge onto his body, and this time he'll register his first run of the match and the tournament. So yet to find the boundary in this run chase so far, Wet Up. It is good bowling here from the Reds, as Brooke is in for the final delivery of the over, is it? Yeah, it is. It's been let go here from the umpire. Yeah, he said that this has gone over the back of Johnson. Yeah, it's probably fair enough. Wet Up 1 for 4 after 2. So it's been an almighty start with the ball so far here from the Reds, who have bowled themselves back into this contest. But of course, there's no need to panic here from Wet Up. 15 required off 10 deliveries. And this one is shaping up to be another tournament opener to remember. It's 15 to get off 10. So Basher goes back to his main spearhead for the third over of the innings. A step in is in around the wicket once again. This one's a good length delivery, but it's well watched and well played down the ground from Johnson, who registers his first boundary for the tournament. That is a much needed release of pressure there from the men in green. It's a good stroke. 11 to get from 9 now. A step in will continue around the wicket. And this one's a thick inside edge. He's going to take Brook on. Oh, and it's a wayward throw. And he moves through comfortably for a single in the end. So 10 to get off 8 deliveries now for the men in green. 5 off the first 2 deliveries of the over. Has swung the pendulum back towards Wet Up's favour. A step in is in once again to him. Now it's another full delivery. It's a thick inside edge. He's dragged this through mid-wicket for another boundary. Johnson coming up trumps once again for the men in green. And they're just one hit away now. Well, just like that, the match has turned in Wet Up's favour. A step in is in once again to Johnson and just tucks this expertly off his hip. And he moves through for a single. No, sorry, apologies. Once again, it's off the hip. So it's another leg by. But that won't trouble Johnson too much as he moves his side closer towards the points here in this Group A opener. So it's now 5 to get off 6 deliveries here for Wet Up. They're in desperate need of a wicket here, the men in red. Here is Alex Steppin is in for the final delivery of the over. Here he's in now. This one hits the hip once again from Johnson, but Brook is onto it smartly and keeps Johnson at bay. So for the second consecutive season, the tournament opener will be decided in the final over of the contest. It's 5 to get from 5 deliveries. And this final over will all hinge on the red skipper, who will be hoping for a very different result to the final over he bowled in last year's tournament opener. 5 to get from 5. So it's Hamid Basha who will bowl the final over of this contest. Here he's in now, round the wicket here to Johnson, and it's well fielded there from Brook, who parries that in the air, and it's well cleaned up by Hamid Basha for a priceless dot. So it's 5 to get off 4 deliveries now, as Basha will continue again now to Johnson. Here in this one will be tight. Yeah, it has been called a wide. Here in this one will have to be re-bowled. So it's 4 to get off 4 deliveries now. If he finds the boundary, Johnson Wet Up are victorious. Here is Basha is in once again. Oh, it's a good bit of fielding from Brook. It's another priceless stop there, and it's another priceless stop for the men in red. They will not go down without a fight here, the men in red, as it's 4 to get off 3. So things getting tight here at the WCG, as Basha is into Johnson once again. Oh, easy as you like. Johnson just hammers this down the ground for a maximum to finish the match in style. Wet Up win match 1 here at the Australia Day T20 Big Bash. They have bowled well and they have batted brilliantly, as Michael Johnson finishes 16 not out to rocket last year's Grand Finalists to the top of Group A. They have sent a massive signal of intent. They want to right the wrongs of last year. So although Wet Up left it to the final few balls of the innings, you get the feeling that they were in reasonable control of that run chase. Michael Johnson finishing with 16 not out to get his side home, and they claim the first points in Group A to rocket to the top of the pile ahead of their blockbuster clash with eternal rivals How's That in match 5. For 2 inches short of a length, they now face a do-or-die contest against How's That in match 9. Otherwise, they will be bundled out at the group stage for the first time in their history. However, if the group of death has taught us anything in tournaments gone by, then this is going to be decided by the barest of margins. It's the Green Machine who sit a pretty at the top of Group A right now, and they know a win against How's That will send them through top of the pile. So as we look ahead to the next match of the tournament, it's another blockbuster to get us underway in Group B. It's a rematch from the quarterfinal stage from last year's tournament, as the defending champions Young Money Cash Money look to get their title defence off to the perfect start against a Nif Nuff side who will have revenge on their mind after last year's quarterfinal exit.